Well, it's happening, Call of Duty community. This is Eric Once-Polly here again, bringing you guys some more Call of Duty news here on e-rev TV, future home, or I should say future subsidiary of e-rev Network. So make sure you guys check that out, as we're going to be bringing you guys all kinds of cool stuff, news articles, the same broadcasts that you're used to, power rankings, team rankings, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, as we'll be doing some more stuff here in the near future. But back to the point, this isn't going to be a roundtable or anything like that. This is really more of a press release, quote-unquote, or a little bit of a release here as far as some things coming out from one of the leagues in North America, CEVO in particular. And here with us tonight is going to be Ian Tannehill, the head COD admin there at CEVO. So, Ian, for, again, those of us who may or may not know you out there, can you give us a little bit of an introduction there for yourself?
What's going on? I'm Ian Tannehill. I'm the head of COD for CEVO. I've been there for almost 4 years. Enjoy COD. I'm a firefighter in real life. Member of Lost Prophets and Supermen. Kind of like the Illuminati of COD 4 and COD 2 and whatever else you want to say. Occasional blogger, occasional guest caster on e-rev. That's me, I guess.
All right, there you have it. And again, Ian is going to be our only guest tonight, as this is really going to be posted more as an announcement to the Call of Duty community, is I think the way that we're going to take this. And you know, we've had a lot of things going back and forward here between leagues. We've had some roundtable events, we've had some massive event discussions, and we've had some forum activity as far as what people want to see in the game. Nobody has actually stepped forward with anything that they've decided they're going to test outright. You know, some people have been scrimming, there's been some announcement of tournaments, but nothing has been released as far as here's what we're going to try, and, you know, let the community take a look at it. So, Ian came to me, showed me some stuff that he's got planned here, and again, this is all going to be posted in an article here on e-rev TV that you guys will be able to look at while you're listening to this, or after you listen to this, before you listen to it, whatever you guys want to do. So, this is really sort of just a sing-along here. So, you know, Ian, there's several things here that I wanted to go over as far as the information that you released. And you know, first and foremost, can you give me a little bit of a feeling of you know, taking your time to get all of this done, and why you felt like this was the right time to sort of release what you feel like you can move forward to test?
Honest to God, because Alienware is fixing me announcing the registration, and they wanted some settings. If you want the truth to be told, again, you know, I've not been an advocate of posting stuff right away, since we're only 2 weeks in. There's still so many problems with the games, but I think we're far enough in the progression now that we're not getting the lag problems. Some of us are still getting the FPS problems. Not me. I get 100. But anyways, I think we're far enough along that we kind of get some ideas, and you know, we can kind of know what we're going to be expecting, I hope, and kind of get something out there. So I just felt that it was basically about time to do it.
All right. And again, shameless plug on our part, you guys. Exclusive coverage of the Alienware Black Ops event will be here on e-rev TV. So shameless plug there for us, but when it's here, and it's going to be big. So let's jump right into things here, Ian. We've got a couple game types we're going to talk about that you showed me here. We got CTF, Domination, Demolition, and I think we touched briefly on S&D, so we'll see if we get into that any. Let's see. Let's take a look here. First thing on my list here, if you want to follow along with me, guys, here's this is posted on the website, is going to be the CTF. So, can you talk a little bit about the spawn timers there? You know, how did, and I'm going to ask you this, we talked about it earlier, but I'm going to ask you anyway. As far as, you know, how did the spawn timer, based on, you know, how long it is, when it is, as far as, you know, during the match, does that play in at all to, you know, the weapons available, as far as, you know, being able to tube people across maps, claymores, LMGs, all that kind of stuff? Did the weapons have any you know, effect on your choice for a spawn timer for CTF, or the other rules for CTF, or was it, you know, something other than that?
It wasn't really about the weapons. It was more in regards to how messed up the spawns are. I guess the politically correct way of saying it would be a cluster fornication. I don't know if I can say that, but I'm sure you can edit it out later if I can.
I'll take it.
So, The spawn times were really kind of messed up, and just after talking to Jason Blum, everybody knows him as Hype, and a couple other people, we just kind of were messing around. We said, look, well, first we wanted to do 10 seconds, and then we said, it's kind of still shady on that with how hard it is to do with this, so we kind of decided 15 would be the ideal number for the spawn timer on that. So not necessarily about the weapons, though. As you know, if I could restrict them, I would be taking launchers out, and more than likely, unless Treyarch gives us the ability to do that, I'm going to be going bare bones.
Okay, well, since we've touched on that, for those of you out there who don't know, who may be me included, the bare bones mode. Okay, can you explain to the people who haven't, messed with the back end of the server or with the remote server admin or anything like that? Can you explain to them, what this bare bones is going to be, and why you've moved towards it as a testing platform?
Yeah, certainly. The bare bones is basically no perks, no attachments. And I know everybody's been pro perks on this stuff, and then everybody's wanting me to pick and choose what you can take out, not. But I'm kind of going astray. But basically, it's just it's no attachments, no perks. You, your gun, and your limited sprint, and you go at it like that. So it's actually pretty fun. I've tried it a few times at first. Like I said, I was for the perks. I was for limited perks and leaving most of the attachments minus the launchers, but I've been playing it. Jockey Itch, if you know him, has been trying to get me to consider it, and a couple other players have been as well, and it's actually a really fun game type, so I encourage people to take a look at it.
Okay, indeed. I will be one of those people as I actually finally have a server to mess around with. So I'll get looking at that. Back to CTF here. The other thing I want to talk about, and again, you guys can follow along here. If you're just listening, you guys need to check out the article because it'll help you out as far as what we're talking about here. The map list here that you've given me in, just as far as what game types go with what map. How did you really go about deciding? Was that more from a pub standpoint, scrim standpoint, or did it really play into the spawns? And can you talk a little bit about the maps that you have picked out for the CTF game type, tentatively right now?
Sure. It was a lot of it was based on some scrim experience, some people I know and that I trust and I value their opinions on. A lot of it was scrim experience. A lot of it was just kind of looking at maps myself. To me, I think we have one of the advantages of this game. I think that we've actually been fortunate about so far is a lot of the maps are actually really good for a lot of the game types. You'll find that a lot of them have an equal left side, right side, and middle. And I think a lot of them, some of them may be one-sided a little bit, but I think they did a really good job with a lot of the maps. Some of the maps I've got, I think, selected for CTF right now are Havana, Cracked, Jungle, which should be interesting. I'm not sure how that one's going to work out. Radiation, Villa, Grid, and then Summit and Hanoi. So it's tentative right now. And then of course, like I said, I did mention a couple others. I'm not sure if I can't remember 5 seconds ago if I even mentioned Grid. Launch is good for CTF as well. So is Array. Again, it's just I think we have a benefit that a lot of these maps are good for multiple game types. So, but again, this is just going to be some testing. Nothing set in stone with what maps we're going to be playing, and I hope everybody will gladly give me some of their opinions on this and say, hey, what do you think? This map is terrible for this game type, or hey, this map's really great, or hey, you didn't suggest this map. Yeah, why don't you try this one? So I'm open to suggestions.
Definitely, and that's the point of all of this, is to test things out. And as with anything, we won't know how it works until it gets done broad spectrum as far as the maps go, game types go, weapons go, all that kind of stuff. And again, Ian is the first one to come with me with a rule set to release. But again, and Ian, I think I could say it safely that the more leagues that test stuff out, the better. And we'll come, hopefully. And hopefully we'll see things come together from there. So I just want to point that out. So we're through CTF now. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say absolutely. Just on one of the things that I've been promoting is this first season. I don't think anybody should be having all the same stuff. As some people have said, oh, well, you're going to have this and the gamers are going to fall out like drones. I don't think that's the case. If a gamer doesn't like it, I'll be the first to tell you they're going to come and complain. What I've been kind of encouraging for people to do is, like, for the different leagues, we've got 3 big ones out here right now. Myself and Sivo, Cyber Gamer, and ESL, and I think John from ESL actually hit it on the head. a little while back. He said he's going to try out as many game types as possible. He's going to try out whatever he can and give everybody's opinions, and that's what I'm encouraging right now. This first tournaments for all of us should be about just testing as much stuff as we can, getting feedback, and then looking at each other and saying, hey, look, this is working, this isn't, this is working, this isn't. Why don't we just tweak this a little bit, and then finally get some stuff rolling on after that. And I think that's what we did in the first season of COD 4 as well. So.
All right, and I just want to clear up a little bit of a stigma there that my only qualms with people running tournaments when and there were a lot of them out there, was that the fact that the game was so laggy. And as we've mentioned tonight, more people are able to play the game more effectively, or at least at a playable frame rate now. So I feel like we could take the chains off this thing and not run wild and sort of test some things out. So we're through CTF here. We got a couple more game types we're going to run down here, so we'll keep this short for you guys. We are going to have here, what's next? I believe we're going to have Domination next. Now, here's a game type that I don't have a whole lot of experience playing. My first experience with it was in Call of Duty 4. However, it was never played, as far as I know, at least in any, broad areas or leagues or anything like that in a real competitive manner, or at least with a lot of people playing it. Now, I want to touch on why, but when we went to Modern Warfare 2, it seemed like this game type sort of exploded, and I have like a grand total of like 6 hours of Modern Warfare 2, so I don't really know anything about it. But as far as, competition goes, it seems like that was the game type that a lot of people chose. So the first thing that we're going to talk about here, we're not going to talk about, because right now there isn't a way to change these things. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we talked about it earlier as far as, the spawn times and all that kind of stuff. So on the domination side, I think it's domination. Maybe that was demolition. I'm not sure. But what we can get into is sort of, do we need a time-based restraint for domination, or do we need a point-based restraint for domination? So what are your thoughts or your arguments on that, whether it's 2 10-minute halves, or if we're going to do a first to 200 kind of thing, or what we're going to do there?
That's actually been, both of those have been tossed around with us. We originally thought about going with the 200-point limit, but then we kind of decided, well, it's not fair. We should have both teams playing both sides for some reason, just for neutrality purposes and everything. So we kind of came on it and decided, hey, 2 halves at 10 minutes a half, and best score at the end would be probably the best thing to do. So this is certainly new testing grounds for me as well. I'm like you. I don't think I have maybe less than an hour of Modern Warfare 2 experience. I played it some in COD 4. It was kind of the redheaded stepchild to SD, and it was around for a little bit, but not so much. So again, but I think people are kind of bored with searching the story as well and looking for new avenues, and this has been a really fun game time for me so far. So we're, like what I told you a couple days ago, we're going to try 5-second respawns and 2 halves at 10 minutes a half, and if it has to go to overtime, it'd be 5-minute halves and no spawn waves. So we kind of feel like that's going to be a good setting there for what we're looking at.
Okay. That answered my questions and more on that. So, and I don't know if you have any insight on this or not, because CEVO has always been, and at least to my knowledge in the COD series, it's always been search and destroy. Cal ran, in its heyday, it ran, a lot of different ladders, or, well, leagues, I guess, for different game types throughout Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 2. I don't know about before that, because that's actually when I came into the series, was Call of Duty 2. But, why was this domination type not successful in Call of Duty 4? Was that really more of a sense of that just S&D was already the set game type coming out of COD 2 from WSVG and all that?
That had a lot to do with it, I think. ST had been practiced for so long, and you had so many game types in COD 4 as well. I don't know if you remember, but they had Sabotage as well. Sabotage, I think, actually got more off the ground than Domination did, and Domination just got kind of swept under the rug. But I know Cal didn't support it, and of course, CEVO had always just been straight search and destroy. In fact, the only time we've ran something besides search and destroy was that very last, the throwback tournament where we ran PAM4 and Sabotage and search and destroy. It wasn't really supported that much going into the game, and then of course the modders didn't really get into supporting it that much. So, like I said, it just kind of got swept under the rug.
Okay. Let's see. What else is on the list here? And Sabotage is something that yeah, I want to touch on that for sure, and that'll be coming up. So we've covered CTF, domination here, and the other game type that myself in particular I want to spend more time talking about is demolition. Now, I have a little bit of a say in this community, and sometimes I wonder why. So I'm not going to try to push anybody towards any game type or anything like that, but demolition is flat out the most fun that I've had in a Call of Duty game. I mean, since I've played, like my beginning days of Call of Duty 2, when I learned that I could bash people, and I thought it was the greatest thing. But demolition is the funnest game type, or the best game type in my opinion, as far as maybe sustainability goes. And especially from a spectator standpoint, there is always something going on, and it's multi-dimensional. You're looking at 2 bomb sites. You're looking at a timer, as well as potentially the things with a different map makeup. So there's all kinds of things coming at you with demolition, and of course the strategies for it, may seem a little bit of a run of the muck when you're in a pub server, but I feel like you could see some actually really cool stuff happen in the competitive leagues here with this thing. And probably the reason I feel that way is because this game type, and you guys, again, you correct me if I'm wrong, the first time I saw this game type was in Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Was this, quote-unquote demolition style, 2 bombs time limit, you get 1 bomb, you get some more time, and it kind of just went forward from there. So I enjoy this game type. I feel like it's sort of being overlooked in the community right now for CTF and maybe even SD. I don't really know about domination, but CTF seems to be the front runner from what I could see, and demolition is something that I don't think should be overlooked. But first and foremost, what are your thoughts on the demolition game type as far as maybe a sustainable competitive style?
Well, I'm like you. I actually love the game type, but then again, I love all 4 of the game types that we have talked about tonight, or we're going to talk about. So I'm certainly not trying to knock any of those out. But demolition to me is very unique and very fun, because to me, I think this game. I don't know if you agree or not, but to me, this game is very fun, very fast-paced, and this game is meant to be played fast. And demolition just kind of gives you that option, because right now, what we wanted to do was have 2.5-second spawn timers, but we can't do that. So it's basically just spawn, you die, you spawn, you die, you spawn. You're going at it constantly. Not only that, you have two different bomb sites, so it's basically like search and destroy on crack. It's it's fun, it's exciting. I think from a spectator standpoint, I think it would be something amazing, because you're going to have more. In search and destroy, you usually had stuff going on towards one bomb site and occasionally another bomb site. You're going to have stuff going on all over the place. For example, I've scrimmed it once so far, I think, and that one time we did scrim, it's like, oh God, they planted the bomb at this one bomb site. Everybody starts to rush over there, and then, oh crap, somebody's planting the other bomb site too. So there's a lot of stuff going on. To me, that excited, fast-paced part of it, that really makes there something interesting and unique to me. And and certainly not only that, but the strategies in it, I think, could get very complex. So it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. That's why I'm including it in a couple of my things. Because like I said, I don't want anybody to knock any of these game types out just yet. So I think they all deserve a chance.
Okay. Now, as far as the sabotage success, there was some success in Call of Duty 4, I should say, early on. Sabotage caught on. Now, I see, sabotage, I felt like, with single bomb, sabotage was amazing. I'm not quite sure how demolition will work out in a competitive standpoint when it's multi-bomb. Single bomb, or maybe, even something weird like 2-bomb or something like that. I'm not gonna, I'm just spewing stuff right now, but I feel like there's some room for improvement there. But again, that's one some's game of choice right now. So I've made my statement on that. Okay, let's go back once again to the maps here. Again, we did a rundown of them. You guys have a list of them on this article you guys can take a look at. Are there any maps that you feel are just not fit for competitive play in any format? If you were to look at these 3 game types between, domination, demolition, and CTF.
Nuketown, but it will be if you let me put in the kill streaks and have my Huey. That's all I'm saying. And I've also heard if you cut the heads off the zombies. I've heard 2 different things. I heard they play some kind of music. I forget what Jaw told me what it was, but it's amazing. And I've heard they turn into zombies. But either way, it was win-win. So that map's just not suited for competition for this game.
That map is like the perfect gun game map. It looks like something straight out of CSS.
What was the map in COD 4 where they just had was it container or something like that?
Shipment.
The one with all the ship was it shipment with all the stuff in the middle? It was just like a box that you run around on. It's like that map. It's just not suited for anything but going crazy on.
Agreed. Okay, so we've covered our 3 game types here. As far as our talking points go, you guys have looked at the maps. You've looked at the quote unquote, rule set here that's going to be tested from CEVO. And of course, we want to hear your feedback on it here at e-rev TV on our forums, or amongst other community sites. That's fine as well. We want to hear your feedback, and we want to get it back on the air. So I'm going to throw you a little bit of off the wall stuff here about Search and Destroy right now, Ian. As far as and we talked about it a little bit before we got started here, as far as the feasibility of some of these mats for Search and Destroy. Of course, right now there are no plant noises for Search and Destroy, and also since you're going to be running in bare bones mode for this tournament potentially, nothing set in stone yet. It brings up something that I've been an advocate for CTF domination demolition, in the sense that I felt like you would have to take less things out of the game in order for those to work. And with Search and Destroy, I feel like you would have to take way more things out of the game and mod it way more to make it a competitive level of a game type. So, if there is hope for Search and Destroy, where do you see it? And are the maps there? Is the game feasible for Search and Destroy? Just in your opinion. I know you're going to include it, in some way, but what are you looking at?
I've actually had a lot of people tell me that it is fun and that I should consider it. And to me, I really think Search and Destroy has a chance to be fun, but I really think it depends on the map too. For example, WMD is a great Search and Destroy map. Firing Range is a pretty good one as well. Summit kind of works decent for it. I'm going to be putting Summit on there, and I'm going to try a couple others like Havana. But I think it has the potential. The only thing I don't like is in Search and Destroy and COD 4, you know as well as I do that it could get slow and drag on forever and just get dull and boring. And again, I think this game is meant to be played fast. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tweaking the round timer, hopefully going with about 1:30 instead of the typical 2 minutes that we used to have, forcing some people to play a little faster and get things done a little faster, hopefully make it a little more exciting. So, but again, like I said, I think it is feasible, and people shouldn't discourage it or count it out, and it really depends on the map.
Agreed. Okay, so we've gone over that. We've gone over Search and Destroy. We've gone over every legitimate game type here. So I'm not going to delve into the issues with Black Ops so much as the lag FPS issues, the things we've been promised, all that kinds of stuff, because you guys are all aware of that. You guys follow PC Dev, all that kind of stuff on Twitter, and when there's something to report, we'll report it. But again, what we just wanted to accomplish here tonight is give you guys a look at a rule set that's going to be used in some tests going forward. So, Ian, if people want to get a hold of you, I'm sure they can, whether it's on the forums or through CEVO. And if you guys have any questions for myself or anybody like that, I'll try to answer them the best I can. But again, we're just kind of a mediator here as far as this is what's coming to the public. We want to be a part of it, and want you guys to have a good look at things here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think that's about all I've got. So we want to keep this short. The article's short. You guys take a look at it. Tell us what you think. And again, we will be doing another Black Ops roundtable later this week, sometime during the weekend. I'm not sure when. I've got to get some people from Europe nailed down. That's what she said. And that way we'll be able to look at some things as far as the game types. We've also got the makers of CTF, PAM, and SAB for COD 4 for DAM, I believe, from the Cal sites. And not the makers, but the rule set makers. So we're going to take a look and talk to those guys. So we'll be back here with some more COD Black Ops coverage. Got to get used to saying that here. And tell you what, Ian, you got it, buddy. Shameless plug time.
Alright, shameless plug time. You had to call me out on it. So first thanks to you guys for letting me on. I look forward to being on here a lot more, certainly. I want to tell the community if they have any kind of ideas, any input, that's what I'm here for. Give me a shout. i10al@cbo.com. Let me know what's going on, what you like, what you don't like. Again, shout out to Superman, Lost Prophets, Bamp, my team. If you guys want to follow me, I rant and rave and go lunatic all the time on my blog at nllp.blogspot.com. And certainly look on the CEVO site. We got a couple more exciting things besides Black Ops coming up. We have our League of Legends season coming up soon, our StarCraft 2 season coming up, and our Counter-Strike Source season coming up with over $10,000 worth of prize and a prize pool in that. So we got a couple exciting things coming up there, and as well as AlienwareArena.com. So be sure to check both those sites out for new stuff coming. And again, thanks to you guys for bringing me on. I always have fun coming on here with y'all.
All right, appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have you on, and always useful stuff coming from Tannehill. That's the only way I can put it. So I do want to make this note here today that every other league admin out there, you guys have something you want to announce, you have something you want to say, something you want to talk about, let me know, and we'll do this. This is what the COD community needs, and it's what e-rev is going to give them. So you guys have something to say, get at me, and this is the place to do it. So Ian, thanks for stopping by. My name is Eric Once-Polly. I was your host for tonight. You guys have been watching or listening, I suppose, to e-rev TV here, and of course, stay tuned for e-rev in e-rev Network. So check out e-revin.com, and also, as Ian mentioned, some other stuff going on at SIBO, as well as Alienware Arena that e-rev is now covering here for StarCraft 2, Counter-Strike Source to the first one tonight. Also going to have, let's see here, League of Legends potentially patch permitting, and of course Black Ops when that is ready. So for e-rev TV, e-rev Network, I'm out of here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some more.